Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, sim fans. Racing 393. My next video today is going to be about comparing a couple of Formula 1 icons, namely Mclaren and Williams. Both cars driven by the late, great Ayrton Senna. And as you'll see by my videos, the first one is a Mclaren MP48, which is from the 1993 Formula 1 season, and the 1994 season, when Senna drove for Williams, the FW16. I'm going to put both cars around a couple of laps at Monza. It's a track which, it's a very, very easy track to drive around. It's not particularly very long, but it's still technical enough to get things right and get the perfect lap in. So I'm going to put these laps together, compare the times, a little bit of a replay, a little bit of a chat, and we'll go from there. So without further ado, let me get into the car, and I'll see you at Monza. Good morning, sim fans. Racing 393, and we're on rFactor 2. Hashtag my favourite sim. And as you can see in front of you, we have a Mclaren MP48, 1993 Formula 1 World Championship entry. McLaren in this livery, the Marlborough, probably amongst one of the most iconic liveries in Formula 1, with probably one of the most iconic drivers of all time. Driving number 8, as you can see by the skid lid, we have Ayrton Senna's McLaren. Powered by Ford, and other drivers notable at the time. I think Michael Andretti may have done a little bit of Formula 1 during this time. The car had, I'm just trying to look at the, what was the engine? Yeah, so it was a Ford powered 3.5 litre V8, normally aspirated. And during this time, it had a 6-speed semi-automatic sequential. So I haven't actually driven this car, which is going to be interesting from this video, but my understanding and memory tells me that it was the car changed gear on its own. I'm thinking back in the day that you can override it, which to me is going to feel a bit weird because I like to put everything on. Other drivers of this particular vehicle, obviously Ayrton Senna, Michael Andretti. He drove the number 7, and I can't remember the exact dynamics of what happened that year, but Mika Häkkinen also drove number 7. I'm not sure whether Michael Andretti was given the old heave ho. I remember although as good as IndyCar driver as he was, I ain't so sure that he gelled too well with Formula 1. As what tends to happen in a lot of racing, drivers from other disciplines come into Formula 1 and just don't get it. In one side, it surprises me. Like now, it would surprise me. No, let me. Now it wouldn't surprise me. Then it could. But what do I know? I've never driven a Formula 1 car, so there we go. So this debuted in 1993 at the South African Grand Prix. Honda had actually been in this McLaren for the first 4 years, 88, to 92. And then they departed Formula One in 92, and along came Ford. So Ron Dennis was the principal team owner at the time, and the rest is history, as they say. So what I plan to do is take this car around a nice easy track. Monza. The track layout is from, I'm just trying to think, it's an older layout, so it's from 1988. Quite a lot of difference. I'll point them out to you as I drive round. So I'm going to take the plan is to take this Mclaren MP48 for a couple of laps, and then change it into another, probably Senna driven car. I might even go to next year, which was the fateful 1994 season, where Ayrton Senna didn't go beyond the San Marino Grand Prix. So the Williams at the time would not have got as far as Italy with Senna driving. So yeah, so I'm just going to put a bit of a comparison in with two different teams and two different years. They kind of follow on from each other, and just really comparing the difference. Just for information purposes, again, I'm using Fanatec hardware. That's my podium wheelbase DD1, and that works on the PS4, Xbox and PC. My Fanatec H pattern shifter, which I don't envisage using today. I've got two button boxes for various different settings on the car. I'm also running a Sim Hub software dashboard, because I don't run a steering wheel in the game. I just use the wheel I'm using as from my view to where the car is. It looks okay to me, but I might put rFactor 2 has a lot of replay value and replay cameras, so I will see how I get on with that. Lastly, my Fanatec wheel is the small flat bottom, flat topped, so it's very much a F1 wheel. Maybe not quite what's in the car, as you can see there, which is round, but it pretty much replicates a wheel that they'd be using at the time. It isn't quite like they are now, full of buttons and switches. Alcantara, so I do wear gloves on it to sort of try to protect it the best I can. I have upgraded the shifter paddles to carbon fibre, just so that, not that I'm actually going to need them on this car by the sounds of it, but subsequently that gives you a nice clicking sound. So not a nice clicking sound, it's a very positive click for the gear change. So miss shifts are now very rare as opposed to the stock items. So we're going to come out of here. So, welcome to Monza in the Mclaren MP48 1993 Ayrton Senna Formula One car. Now, I did a video a while ago, last week, with NASCAR Racing 2003. The problem with that is Windows had various updates, and like usual, everything was changed in my settings. So, really importantly, I'm really hoping that you can hear me, even though the car's running. So I've got my FOV, my field of view, set to 32 degrees. The steering wheel to me doesn't look too bad from where I'm sat. I suppose if anything, I can't get much closer than that with the seat. And the height is kind of where I'm sitting, how I can see over the shield. Right. So off we go. Oil and water's getting a bit hot. So at the moment, I'm changing gear. So let's have a look at it. So it's not quite semi-automatic. We've got 6-speed. Now this car's made by ASR Formula, and they do mods for rFactor 2, Assetto Corsa, the original Assetto Corsa, and Automobilista. Fantastic mods they are too. This car isn't quite as loud as the other McLarens that I've been driving. But it's giving great feedback through the wheel. SimHub was also running dashboard, as I've said, and the tactile kick butt kicker. I keep calling it a kick butter. I'll sort the gears out. Butt kicker. So every time I change gear. Now look at this. We're on the low configuration rear wing downforce. I'm not running crew chief this morning. But yesterday in an older McLaren, 1990s, in qualifying trim, 127. So we're not in qualifying trim at the moment. But it looks like we could do with some more revs. Right, so I'm going to push a little bit harder this lap. Vmax about 192. Haven't quite got as much grip. So let's see if we can do a reasonable lap. 194.5. We're getting up there. That first chicane is always very You can easily overdrive that, flat out through Curva Grande. Use as much curve as I can get away with. Lesmo. A lot slower around there than yesterday. Wide then. So we're 5 seconds up on my last time. It's not particularly very quick at the moment. I'm sure the tyres are at their maximum temperature, and we're not on quali tyres either. Surprising how different the cars are compared to the ones I was driving yesterday, the earlier versions. That's a 131. See. Hills are right round the corners. Barely a second up. Carried more speed through the last chicane. Tyres probably at a good operating temperature now. It's 1.6 seconds quicker. A 129. Losing grip there. I'm almost at my limit on my threshold braking. See if we can get some more out of it. Half a second up. Won't get us into the 28s, not like that. I've got to find another 3/10. That's 6/10. Another 2/10 needed on this last corner. I'm not sure I'm going to get it. These ain't on qualifying tyres either, so that's 7/10. No, that's not really close enough. So, I mean, this is stock setup really. I haven't done any other changes to the car, and that was a 128.08. So the final lap. Sounds good, looks good. That first chicane, very fiddly that one, to be honest. Curva Grande, or Curva Grande, basically a flat out right hander. No DRS. What is that? Nice sounding car. Sounds good. Sounds much better than they do nowadays. You can see there with rFactor 2, the amazing tyre flex of their tyre model. Looks the part. To the final chicane. The important thing is the exit. It's squirrely around there. I know for a fact that the 88 McLaren was pinned. Right, so there we go. 5 gallons of fuel, qualifying tyres. I stalled. We've got 1 lap and then we're going to qualify. So we've got to push. We're on the out lap. So I will be a bit quieter. I'll hit the grip. Got to push like a qualifying lap on the out lap. I'm not sure in the day that was really how you did it. I'm going to say hats off to the modders of this. Amazing. ASR, you rock. Right, so look where I'm going, not the other screens. No excuses. Yeah, the full feedback's amazing. So we're 6/10 up. Loads more in that time. The fuel light isn't on yet, so I might better give it another one. That's a 128.1. Too wide round there. through on the beat this time, to be honest. No, we were too quick. Different view. Why not? From the master himself. That's not me. So you can see it looks incredible. It's quite a good texture on the tyre. The car feels quite soft on the suspension, if I'm honest. And there's definitely more time on the table because I wasn't actually hitting all the apexes. It wasn't a particularly strong lap. You can just about see the brake disc glowing on the inside of the front wheel, which is neat. Sort of around that area here. Across the line for a very low 128.1. There we go. So that was the McLaren MP48 1993 Formula 1 World Championship car driven by Ayrton Senna. We're now going to go over to the following year, the fateful 1994 season, but to give the great master a chance in the virtual world to drive his Williams around the same track. I shall see you shortly. So welcome to rFactor 2, part 2. We're in the Williams FW16, the 1994 Adrian Newey designed car, as driven by Ayrton Senna in that fateful year, up to the San Marino Grand Prix. Powered by a Renault RS6 3.5 litre V10. Williams FW16, 16B and C were the predecessors throughout the year. Designers and head of technical director at the time, Patrick Head, and the chief designer, Adrian Newey, who is now with the infamous, or famous, sorry, Red Bull racing team. As you can see, the engine was a 3.5 litre V10. The transmission 6-speed semi-automatic. This was probably the start of the years. With the previous years, the cars, a lot of the top running cars at least, had all the tricks and electronics and things on there to make them as fast as possible. Ground effects, active ride, all the tricks that you can probably think of, they had it. This was the first year the FIA banned all that paraphernalia, and we're left with the FW15. Is it a 15? I've literally lost my notes, which is a bit annoying. Excuse me, I do apologise. 16. Yeah, I thought it was. Sorry, an FW16, 3 numbers. So we're going to take this car around a track where Senna probably would never have driven it, unfortunately. But we're going to give it a go and compare it, the times, what I can do, what I did previously. So wish me luck. I'll see you back in the garage. So, welcome to 1994 in the Rothmans Williams FW16. It doesn't have qualifying tyres, this one, so we're just on soft, it's a Goodyear soft compound. I have tried this car yesterday. To me it didn't seem as quick, but we've got to get into a 127 to beat the McLaren. see how we go. Tyres warmed up first. I'm hoping that you can hear me over the engine noise. On the lead nose, probably my weakest corner, or group of corners on this track. So we haven't got, I think we have got quali fuel in. I think I loaded the quali setting at the beginning. We might as well give it a couple of laps, see how we get on. Simulates the downforce really well. Can you hear? It's definitely got a higher Vmax. And better brakes. But a shit driver. The brakes do work a lot differently actually. But we are in qualifying trim. Great force feedback. You can feel the downforce working. Tire's not at the temperature yet, although the app suggests otherwise. Got a plug-in. The one on my dash that I'm running says they're still cold. Interesting. Right, let's see what we can do out of this car for the next 2 laps maybe. That's well over 200, well, I say well over, 203, 4, something like that, or 200. The tyres do have a limit. Got 16 litres of fuel left, so we're fine. Right, let's just concentrate on doing now. It's sloppy there, I'd say though, but this is the apexes. Anyway, another lap. 129. Should be quicker, but not quick enough, I don't think. 128, what, 2? Or one more. Just about got enough fuel. So I've got to beat a 128.1 and I'm 3/10 up. Too wide then. So I might have just beaten it, but not then. Oh, that was really good fun. So that was a 128.2, but I was 3/10 up on that coming into the parabolica. Yeah, and then I hence the name. I bollocked it up. So here we go. A slightly different perspective. So the car doesn't feel a lot quicker than the Mclaren on the previous year. I mean, alright, the Mclaren had qualifying tyres and possibly a qualifying engine or mode. Maybe Williams had that as well. But it did have a lot of the tricks on it which weren't allowed on the cars this year, 1994. So potentially this car is as quick, wide then, without the all the bells and whistles. There we go. There's my lap. So, to summarise, we've taken a Mclaren MP48 around Imola, Monza, and then we took the Rothmans Williams FW16, both driven by Senna. Senna unfortunately wouldn't have got this far in this car. We all know the outcome of that horrendous year. Amongst another driver, Roland Ratzenberger, who would not have seen this track either at this particular part of the year. So, but what this was doing, this was just highlighting how good ASR are at their mods, mainly Formula One and the historic side of it. I might do another comparison video using rFactor's up to date, as modern as I can find F1 car, and then maybe compare it against an even older F1 car. rFactor 1 and 2 have an abundance of mods, so I hope you enjoyed it. That was quite good fun actually. So if you enjoyed it, let me know. If you didn't, let me know. Doesn't matter really. I'm only doing this for fun. I'm not anything special. I'm just doing it because I like talking about F1. So if you enjoyed it, great, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.